local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Then pure confusion when real youth gets the real thing, where truth from inside does rise within. The most monitored show on radio. We're fearless, we're tough, we're ready to go. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. Anyhow you twist it. New spin, dealing true spin. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. No matter how no spinning the truth. Up spin, front spin, back spin, back spin. Anyhow you twist it, no matter how you turn it. No spinning the truth. One man says this, next man says that. Packaging men like ultra hot. Headlines pretty but the story thin, so we break it down and expose the sin. No favorite, no friend to defend. If you're wrong today, we call it an end from Parliament. Straight down to the bridge, don't go hide when the mic turns on big. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. Anyhow you twist it. New spin, dealing true spin. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. No matter how you turn it, no spinning the truth. Up spin, front spin, back spin, back spin. Anyhow you twist it, no matter how you turn it, no spinning the truth. Sun gets bright, but sunlight does bring everything to light. No sugarcoating of any disguise. We cut things through all them politics and lies. So whether you're red or yellow or blue, if your touch don't match, we're coming for you because the people deserve the truth, not wreck and hypocrisy. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. Anyhow you twist it, we deal in true spin. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. No matter how you turn it, it's the true spin. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. Anyhow you twist it, we deal in true spin. Up spin, down spin, front spin, back spin. No matter how you turn it, it's the true spin. The most monitored talk show in the world.
I've turned off his man. I've turned off his man. I've turned off his man. I've turned off his man.
Who's Mike? You can't turn off my mic. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin is on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. Wake up until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Jante is here, going through your comments in the chat rooms, and she'll be providing us with some updates, and I'll be hearing from you at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Hope you are having yourself an enjoyable Friday. There's somebody's Friday who is not going too good. Guess why? She was incensed. She was pissed off. And this prompted her to call the broadcast yesterday. I'm referring there to Lucilia Charles, who is the mother of Ricky Joseph's children. 4 children. 12, 9, 6, and 5. Ricky Joseph, in case you don't know, is still missing at sea, and many people have concluded that he has been blown to smithereens by the Americans between St. Lucia and St. Vincent. This occurred apparently February of this year as a result of a kinetic strike. I remember this very infamous exchange between Al Jazeera's Josh Rushing and our own Prime Minister, St. Lucia's best Prime Minister ever, Philip J. Pierre. I remember Mr. Philip J. Pierre saying that these are our people. You, Josh Rushing, when you leave, we'll be right here. And the exchange went on. When the Prime Minister said he has more than taken care of the family, he has done more than that. This prompted Lucilia Charles, who was monitoring this broadcast, as is the case with about 40,000 people, to call the program. We didn't prompt her. We didn't say, hey, Lucilia, call in defense of your family. Call to clear the air. And already I'm being told this lady is being crucified on social media. You know, politics before everything. In this current environment, SLP before everything. And we can only anticipate the kind of vitriolic attacks that will be unleashed on this woman by the colorfuls of the St. Lucia Labour Party in defense of the SLP, in defense of their Prime Minister. But facts are facts. If she has not received a visit from the Prime Minister, she has not received a visit. If no one from the government has seen it necessary to visit her, visit the family, how are you doing, etc., those are the facts. If SSDF, St. Lucia Social Development Fund, has not seen it necessary to stretch out a helping hand, stretch out a check, doesn't have to be for 1,008. At least every now and then, a little $800. That will do good for Lucilia Charles and her 4 children. So in case you missed it, first you'll get the exchange between Josh Ruling and the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and then you will hear from Lucilia Charles.
They've told us you haven't contacted them. What should justice look like for these families?
Excuse me. Let me assure you, these families are our people, you know.
Yes, sir.
They are my people. So I'm very concerned about them, I'm sure, more than you. They are my people, right? I'm very concerned about them. But all I can tell you, I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is we have not got any information from the United States. That's all I know. But I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure I'm more concerned about them than you.
Well, I would just challenge that. I've spent the week with them. I can name their children.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Sir, can you?
Because, I mean, after this week, you're going to be leaving. I'm here with them. So I know that pain. I know what they're suffering from, but I can only tell you the truth.
Why haven't you reached out and talked to those families then?
I've done more than that.
They've told us you haven't contacted them. What should justice look like for these families?
Excuse me. Let me assure you, these families are our people, you know.
Yes, sir.
They are my people. So I'm very concerned about them, I'm sure, more than you. They are my people, right? I'm very concerned about them. But all I can tell you, I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is we have not got any information from the United States. That's all I know. But I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure I'm more concerned about them than you.
Well, I would just challenge that. I've spent the week with them. I can name their children.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Sir, can you?
Because, I mean, after this week, you're going to be leaving. I'm here with them. So I know that pain. I know what they're suffering from, but I can only tell you the truth.
Why haven't you reached out and talked to those families then?
I've done more than that.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. You're on the air. This is NewsSpin.
This is Lucilia calling from Servants Bay. I saw the clip Philip JPA is saying from the time my children's father passed away, he reached out to the family, and this is not true.
So you're saying the deceased Ricky Joseph.
Yes.
Is your boyfriend, husband, child father? Okay.
Boyfriend.
Okay, so let me ask you: the Prime Minister, has he ever contacted you or your family?
He never contacted me. He never came to see me. Nothing. And then I saw the clips that he has saying he reached out to the family, and then that is not true.
But he's saying he did more than that. He's not saying that he reached out to the family. He's saying he did more than that. So what
he never did anything or whatsoever.
No one from the government has contacted y'all, the family. Nobody.
No one.
No government minister. No parliament representative.
No one at all.
No one at all.
Yes.
And how does that make you feel, ma'am?
It makes me feel bad.
They've told us you haven't contacted them. What should justice look like for these families?
Excuse me. Let me assure you, these families are our people, you know.
Yes, sir.
They are my people. So I'm very concerned about them, I'm sure, more than you. They are my people, right? I'm very concerned about them. But all I can tell you, I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is we have not got any information from the United States. That's all I know. But I'm very concerned about them. I'm sure I'm more concerned about them than you.
Well, I would just challenge that. I've spent the week with them. I can name their children.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Sir, can you?
Because, I mean, after this week, you're going to be leaving. I'm here with them. So I know that pain. I know what they're suffering from, but I can only tell you the truth.
Why haven't you reached out and talked to those families then?
I've done more than that.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. You're on the air. This is NewsSpin.
This is Lucilia calling from Servants Bay. I saw the clip Philip JPA is saying from the time my children's father passed away, he reached out to the family, and this is not true.
So
Yeah.
you're saying the deceased Ricky
Ricky
Joseph,
Yes.
is your boyfriend,
Child
husband,
father,
child father? Okay.
boy, yeah,
He did.
boyfriend.
Okay, so let me ask you: the Prime Minister, has he ever contacted you or your family?
He never contacted me. He never came to see me, nothing. And then I saw the clips that he has saying he reached out to the family, and then that is not true.
But he's saying he did more than that. He's not saying that he reached out to the family. He's saying he did more than that. So what
He
did
never did. He never did anything or whatsoever.
no one from the government has contacted y'all, the family? Nobody?
No, no one,
No government minister, no parliamentary representative,
no one at all.
no one at all.
Yes,
And how does that make you feel, ma'am?
it make me feel bad.
Now you be impartial. Be impartial. Whether you are a color fool, whether you're not a fool, whether you're wise, St. Lucian, who is speaking the truth? We will not pass judgment on anyone. The Prime Minister said he has done more than interact with the family, even meet with them, etc. He's done more than that. And you heard from the mother of Ricky Joseph's 4 children. I have not heard from the Prime Minister. I have not seen the Prime Minister. I have not heard from any government official 5 months after Ricky Joseph, about 35 years old, has gone missing. There's doubt as to whether he was killed by the Americans. The circumstances under his disappearance. But for a fact, we know he is missing. St. Lucia National, the father of 5 children. If you care about the welfare of the people of St. Lucia, you meet the family. You say hi, how you doing? You comfort the family. You're a 5-star general. See what happens with the US president, Trump, previous presidents, the 2 Bushes, Obama, comforters in chief. Prime Minister is very effective at making his presence felt when it is time to do everything in his power to win a seat or to win a general election. Descends on the constituency of Ancillary Canaries because Wayne Girard is in some trouble. Possibly could lose that seat. He descends upon there, the constituency, walks through, parades, convince people, vote for Wayne Girard. And you cannot demonstrate your humanity by meeting this grieving woman, this mother of those 4 children, and you're in this heated exchange with a reporter, giving the impression that you have done so much for the family. There's so much more that I can say, but of course, I have to tread carefully. Our NewsSpin question of the day, and it reads: why hasn't the SSDF checked CHEQUED on the family of Ricky Joseph, the victim of the U.S. boat strike? Why hasn't the SSDF checked on the family of Ricky Joseph, the victim of the U.S. boat strike? And we'll try to see if we can go through some of your responses, and maybe Jante can help me with this time around. Maybe we could try to see if we could get some of the comments with regard to our NewsSpin question of the day, at least those that we can share with the audience. Our NewsSpin question of the day why hasn't the SSDF checked on the family of Ricky Joseph, the victim of the U.S. boat strike? And we say good afternoon to you, Shanti. Maybe we'll go through some of the comments thus far.
Starting off with our first comment, it reads, apparently the family of Ricky Joseph is not important. Another saying, because checks are not balancing, so they can't check on them. Maybe just maybe if the family were in high heels, only then the checks would have checked them. Another saying, is that the role of SSDF? Simply because they are his people and he's concerned about them, so they are getting his personal checks. He loves them. SSDF checks are for persons who cannot walk and they have 4 children. Another comment is saying, maybe because they don't want to compensate the family with a big check for the death of the family members. Another comment is saying, why would they? They have no benefit in the man's family. Another comment is saying, why would they? Still waiting on PJP to go check on the family so he can give the okay. Another saying, to be honest, I really don't mean to laugh, but this timely question really speaks bluntly to the level of politics taking place in the country and pissing a whole lot of people off. From one story to the next, just like the Flubble party, shaking my head. And we have a photo uploaded saying, the least ready, I lied. I never went to see the family. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Janti. And we have some some sound effects in the background. I think it's snowing. Okay, so just bear with us. It's snowing in here. In just a bit, we'll be taking your calls. As usual, my producer is shaking his head. We have a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister. Government reaffirms responsible handling of missing persons case. And it says there, and they're trying to do some damage control in response to the call by Lucilia Charles, the call that she made to NewsSpin. The government of St. Lucia reaffirms that the matter involving the missing individuals at sea from February 2026 has been handled responsibly in accordance with established procedures and with due regard for the affected families. Well, the Prime Minister could have just said that to the journalist. It continues. In matters involving missing persons, the next of kin are the persons recognized under the law for the purposes of official communication and engagement. Remember, the Prime Minister said, I've done more than that for the family. So the family would consist of, among others, the children, the children's mother, if Ricky Joseph has brothers, sisters, mothers, etc. It continues. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force has also been in contact with the relevant authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in its efforts to obtain and verify information surrounding the case. To date, there has been no confirmation of the recovery of any bodies connected to the missing individuals. So the Royal St. Lucia Police Force can contact the relevant authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and yet still, the Prime Minister, the government, cabinet of ministers, parliamentary representative, etc., cannot contact the mother of his children, cannot contact his children. I mean, that's a waste of time. That press release that was issued apparently from the office of the Prime Minister. It continues. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has made clear that the government remains deeply concerned about the welfare of the affected families and recognizes the distress and uncertainty they continue to experience. How can you know? How can you understand the level of distress being experienced by the family and the uncertainty they continue to experience? How do you know that when you have not spoken with the mother of his children, you have not spoken to the children? So you are hiding behind a press release. That's all it amounts to. It goes on. The government remains committed to treating this matter with the seriousness, and here it goes, compassion and sensitivity deserves. No compassion there, for sure. No compassion there. The reaction thus far is devoid of any kind of compassion. It concludes, it will continue to engage appropriately with the next of kin, liaise with the relevant authorities, and ensure that verified facts and established procedures guide its actions and public statements. Pure PR does not make sense, does not hold any weight, ought to hold any weight in the eyes at least of reasonable and sensible sections of the St. Lucian Society. This was penned, I believe, to impress colorfuls. That's all. In just a bit, you'll hear again from Lucilia Charles, because she has a particular plea. But stand by for that. We'll hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have our first call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
I bless it to you, Timothy, your callers all around the world.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, I believe what I listen to Timothy, based on what you said, if the minister have to get something from NIC, I think the government will prevent that, because that press release was very harsh. So I only hope that if they're entitled to get something, that the 4 kids will be recognized, and they will not say because they're not married that they will just live on the side of the road. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp message, and it reads, "Good day. Thank you for your show." And the Al Jazeera reporter, Miss Charles of Savants Bay, got the courage to call yesterday despite her grief. She should be applauded. What does the Prime Minister mean by he has done more than that? Where is his empathy? Within the last 5 months, has any local or regional journalist visited the family to get the human side of the story? Did the artist who appeared on your show with his display visit Miss Charles? One good thing, though, because of that reporter, the story has been brought back to life. We have another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Timothy.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon to St. Lucians and everybody listening. I listened to that Al Jazeera reporter's questions to the Prime Minister, and I'm still sitting here wondering what would make the Prime Minister respond in the way that he did. He was given an opportunity to put his position on the world stage, have this guy take it back for him. And he just totally missed the ball. The question was, what does justice look like to you? That was a wonderful question, an open-ended question, a great question. I expected the Prime Minister would have said something to the effect, we believe that this was a strike on our fishing boat. We've recovered the wreckage. We weren't able to recover the bodies. We have spoken to the families. They have given us information about who was on the boat, what time did they leave to go to sea. We have provided all of that information to the State Department. And right now, justice for us looks like a response from the State Department telling us whether it in fact was a strike, giving us assurances that our fishermen would be protected on the waters, ensuring that our fishing industry would not be affected, and giving us compensation for the loss of our citizens who are conducting their daily bread on the water. But see, the Prime Minister couldn't say anything to that effect because he did absolutely no work after the strike happened. He did no work. He didn't look for the wreckage. He didn't speak to the families. And he didn't speak to the family because had he spoken to the family, he would not have gotten so incensed at the question. He took the question as if he was being put on the spot. But you weren't being put on the spot, sir. You were being asked legitimate questions. And you had an opportunity to give legitimate answers, but because you had done absolutely no work, and I do not believe you ever reached out to the State Department, because the State Department will not get a letter from you and wait 7 months, and you have not even gotten acknowledgement of receipt of your letter. Oh, well, the State Department has written out to us and told us that they've received our letter and they're looking into it and they will respond to us within the next 4 months. Nothing? That's just not how America works. That is not how the State Department would work. Even if they told you, Gasa Ivum, they would give you a response. So he did no work. And now the lady has called and said that, no, he's never spoken to us. If he was going to speak to somebody, he would have spoken to the mother of 4 children. Who else is there to speak to besides her? And if she says that never happened, then I don't believe it ever happened. And the way that he responded tells me it did not happen. The way he responded to the reporter tells me it did not happen.
But equally, it's also nonsensical to hear, to read in that press release that they are contacting the next of kin.
Exactly. How you contacting the next of kin? You should know by now who the next of kin is, because this happened 7 months ago. The press release should have said, "Oh, we have once again contacted, Emily somebody."
But let's say the next of kin happens to be Mr. Ricky Joseph's mother or his father. Okay, in terms of legal circumstances or legal issues, you tell me you're not supposed to contact his girlfriend, the mother of his children?
Well, see, I would not even microanalyze it like that. If he contacts the next of kin, then I would think that next of kin would be mature enough to let his children and their mother know what's going on and include her.
No.
Say to
No. I am micromanaging it. You meet social services, etc., because to counsel those children, right? To provide some level of counseling to those children who have missed their father for 5 months, 12 years old, 9 years old, 6 years old, and 5 years old.
Except, Timothy, I would not expect the Prime Minister to be the one to do that. But
I agree.
If he had initiated some contact of some kind, then that referral would have been made to social services, and someone from that department would have done that. But the fact is, he never contacted anybody, period. That to me is the bigger issue. And what about our own national security? If bombs are being dropped on our fishermen in the sea, then we have a national security issue. And you didn't contact the State Department about that? Yeah, okay, there are drug runners on the ocean, and the U.S. government is trying to stop the running of drugs and guns. That benefits us as well. But if they made an error, then somebody needs to let them know they made an error. And it's our government that has to let them know they made an error. But our government has to work. And folks, Pierre is not working, people. He is not doing the work. The way he speaks, what he says when he speaks, neither he nor Hilaire are working.
What about
none of them?
What about the foreign minister who is in the background whilst the journalist was grilling the prime minister?
Maybe still alive?
You saw him in the background?
I saw him in the background, but see, somebody has to let him do his job. If the prime minister doesn't say, well, I will defer to my minister of foreign affairs, he's more in charge of this issue than I am, then what can we do about that?
But the reporters, our local reporters have been calling on the foreign minister to speak on such issues. Have you heard anything from the foreign minister?
Our local reporters need to put their boots on go to the foreign minister's office, camp out there if need be, and get him to speak, because he is not going to pick up the phone and call you. You have to make that trip to him, because we already know how things work in St. Lucia. Nobody responds to anybody, and the time passes and nothing gets done, nothing happens. But we need government that's going to work, actually work. Put pen to paper, one foot in front of the other, take the steps, and get the work done. Because if you do not contact the State Department, you're not going to get anything back. And it's going to be 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, and you're going to tell us, well, I'm still waiting. They haven't said, those are my people. No, what your people thing is that? If it's your people, then you should be concerned, or you should be welcoming of anyone who's asking questions to assist your people.
But you ever come across a man who says, that's my child, but he's not feeding the child?
Oh yeah, my child father for sure. Hey, facts are facts. I ain't lying. Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, my child graduated from college. Oh, really? You paid a cent towards that? No, I don't mean to put this man on blast, but he deserves to be on blast, so I don't care. But yes, that's kind of what it sounds like, right? Those are my people, but you don't even know their names. How many children you don't know, and the person who muted the mic was out of order. That was so disgustingly rude. I don't even know why you would do that. You're going to censor this man? Censor? No freedom of the press? No freedom? This made us look so bad. I was cringing. I'm like, oh my God, no, they didn't do this. And it's not because it was an Al Jazeera or foreign reporter. Any reporter that's done to would have been cringeworthy. But, I wish St. Lucians would stand up and decide, if this is the government we'll have to make them do better, because this country there's so many things that's wrong. I was looking at a picture online today about this big monstrosity on the hills. I don't even want to go there anymore. But, Timothy, I feel for us, we need help. The people have to recognize when something isn't working, and the handouts is not what we put the Prime Minister there to do. The handouts are helpful to a lot of people. I do not say don't give them, but the real work of governing this country, it's not happening. It's really not happening, and we're about to lose it, and this just annoys me to all heaven. Thanks, Timothy.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. Fawning to a great degree. I turned off his mic. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. Expect that person will be getting a promotion anytime from now. Let's turn our attention now to the line. Let's take a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Brother Timothy, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Hey, how are you? Okay?
Am I right? What's in your mind?
Not too bad. Anjanti, sorry. Tim.
Good afternoon.
I was so glad yesterday when that lady called your show from Savans Bay. And I know the lady, Tim. I don't want to go into details, but I know the lady. And I find she was brave, Tim, and listen to your show, and courage enough to stand and say, nobody from the government have not seen her. Tim, when we are grown-ups, and we're not short, Tim, of certain things, it's two things we have to say, Tim. Either we don't know, or later we will give you, some information, or we leave it there. But to be on an international television monitoring, talking about CARICOM and a lot of world attraction, you have Al Jazeera, which is a television channel I like to listen to, because that is where the professionals are. And to sit in front of the gentleman, and I wonder how the gentleman feels. I should not even ask you that question, because these are my people, as though I know about them more than you. That's not the question. That is not the question, Tim. We're talking about a lady with 4 children, does not have a father to fend for themselves, relying on somebody Other person after that incident giving them little assistance. But where are the government? Where are the caring Malawi government? Where are they? Everybody fast try to make quick money to become millionaires with Airbnb there, and the poor people are left to be stranded and struggling, begging for some assistance. You're talking about the guy who called you this week from Beaufort, and he have been calling your show before with that 20-year-old boy that's disabled, pleading, want some assistance, no. But then when we get to places where we're supposed to answer the question, oh, these are my people, and almost like that's not your business, because it's my people and it's not your people. When you will leave there, I will be there for them. Where are you going to be for them? What will you do for them when the Al Jazeera journalists left? What will you do for them? I don't think this country more and more is like problems, and we are asking ourselves, Tim, how we get there? Like we always using that word. Where do we get there? Recently, I got to know St. Lucia was a country that was passionate, friendly, and now everybody wepuko. And it's always like you have to be in red, man. The mood have to be on your side for you to get any assistance from government. That's how I look at it to me. Like if you're not a big rah-rah supporter, wearing a red t-shirt all in the hot sun to showcase your party, you're not in it. I don't know. But then I only hope that the Prime Minister, I know probably by now he may have been heard from that lady that called you on the press. You read from the government. You should have to look at that and don't even read that on the radio for anybody to hear that. That's a bull. That makes sense. But then the Prime Minister is man enough after that young lady called your show to say that she have not received nothing from the government, not even from him, that to take that back and say, well, I know some of them, it's difficult for them to do that thing. But say honestly, because we don't want to call nobody. We'll just say, well, the Prime Minister probably did not know, and he said that maybe to cover something. He said, well, he have done more than that. And you could play that all night, every now and then. I myself just play it.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says there, Lucian's earringy. Please, I'm begging you, don't play this again because St. Lucia is looking so bad on the world stage. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says, awa, for the people who say that's the best Prime Minister. All this man does is act like some child with no etiquette, according to a WhatsApp message. And we have another WhatsApp message. Bear with me. This one is long. It reads, there are often three sides to a story. Your account, the other person's account, and the truth established by the evidence. This post has presented one version. The officer has provided another. The public should now demand the complete, independently verified truth, not accept selective allegations as established fact. Whenever a police officer discharges a weapon, social media suddenly becomes filled with experts, eyewitnesses, and unnamed credible sources. Yet, when armed criminals shoot, terrorize communities, and murder our citizens, that same certainty frequently disappears. Nobody saw anything. Nobody knows anything. Nobody is willing to assist the police. This culture of selective outrage and silence is one of the reasons violent crime continues to flourish in St. Lucia. Police officers must absolutely be held accountable for their actions. However, accountability must be based on the full circumstances and the available evidence, not on emotionally charged accounts designed to portray one party as completely innocent and the officer as an unprovoked aggressor. According to the account provided by persons involved in the security response, the individual was not simply a quiet footballer who was inexplicably targeted. It is alleged that he has been behaving in a disruptive manner, threatened the officer by saying, "I will kill you tonight," and subsequently reached towards a pouch he was carrying. The officer's account further indicates that a less lethal rubber round rather than conventional live ammunition was used in response to what the officer perceived as an immediate threat. It is also alleged that immediately after the individual was struck, one of his companions removed the pouch and fled with it. That is a material allegation which should be properly investigated. No responsible person should automatically declare what was inside the pouch. Equally, its alleged removal should not be conveniently omitted from the public narrative. Why describe the injured man's background and family circumstances as though these details alone determine what occurred during the confrontation? A person may be hardworking, athletic, and supportive of relatives while still becoming involved in a serious incident. Likewise, wearing a police uniform does not automatically make an officer guilty of brutality. Character descriptions cannot replace witness statements, video recordings, medical evidence, forensic findings, or a lawful investigation. If there are questions concerning the number of rounds discharged, the type of ammunition used, the treatment received at the hospital, or the validity and address contained in any search warrant, those questions should be examined transparently by the relevant authorities. The officer's version must also be investigated, not erased before the investigation has even concluded. Demand justice, certainly, but demand truth, consistency, and fairness as well. The same voices demanding answers when the police use force should be equally vocal when gunmen spill blood in our communities. Selective outrage will not make St. Lucia safer. And that's in response, to an incident which occurred, I think, over the weekend in the island south, involving police officers and a member of the public or a civilian. Let's take a call on the line. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello? Okay, we lost that call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Back to the telephone line. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, Jante.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Tim, I just want to always be grateful, let you know how grateful I am for your show, because it seems to be the only place that people get an opportunity to voice what is happening around it. Because when a country has been so rigged, it is so difficult for people for an outcry to be heard. Now, I heard when the interview was played and the gentleman asked the Prime Minister, what does justice look like for you? And the lady before that said that how she expected the Prime Minister to answer. But let me tell you, you can only answer, you can only give what you have. Okay? And that is the Prime Minister just let us, we just saw what he had. And that's what he gave. And that is why it's very important as a nation that we have to understand that prime ministers and the ministers are people that we elected. It doesn't mean that they come with the prerequisites. And we as a people have to be able to critique them, and we have to be able to get them to answer the questions that we have before them. Too many people are fighting a political game, and that is the issue that is right here. Is a UWP versus the SLP. And it's happening in the very offices of the Prime Minister, the offices of the Minister. Because they're thinking that now the Minister or the Prime Minister is in power, so now it's my government. But it's not your government, it is the country's government. And everyone has to be accountable. Everybody has to be fed. Everybody has to be looked after. Too many people are personalizing this post. And that is the problem in St. Lucia. And that is why when there is a problem, everybody is on a hush. You see, the hush will not save us as a nation. When the problem arises, both UWP and SLP is going to get it. Something happens, everybody's going to get affected. So it's the mindset of our people who have to change. This is the way that we St. Lucians have to go. Stop that party thing and let's be intellectual. And I'm calling on the intellectuals of the nation. And note, I didn't say the people with the masters, the doctorate and all of this, I'm talking about the people who have the wisdom to understand that it is more than the minister. Because these ministers, remember yesterday, let me deviate a bit. Remember yesterday, this gentleman who called and who said that when he was accused of a particular thing on the airport, and he was allowed to give up his post and give up his ministerial duties.
Yes.
Remember, the gentleman actually uttered that when he went into office, he had no idea as to what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
That, for me, was an eye-opener. Because we put people in politics and they don't know what they're supposed to do. It's like everybody who's hired, they come and fulfill their personal duties. You need to know that when you are elected in a particular position, the Prime Minister is no longer your personal duties. You should have a script. If it's not something that is inherent to you as a Prime Minister, if I'm not inherently a caring person, then just the fact that I'm elected as a Prime Minister, then I should cultivate that, or I should have my technocrats teaching me how to cultivate that in me. Because I'm not interested in you, Philip JP, as a person. I'm interested in you as my Prime Minister. And that is what we, the intellects, the people with wisdom of the nation, should be requesting from the persons who are here to represent us. All of the persons who are coming in the post and they want to run their private life in a public office, it's not going to work like that. These people need to be given a script. These people need to follow the rules and the regulations of the technocrats. Not because you are the minister, you can just run your post as you want. That is the type of power we need to take away from them as the people. And I am pleading to the people of St. Lucia. Stop that politicking. Stop that UWP, that SLP, that PLP, whatever power you have. You all need to stop it. We need to think as intellectuals. We are hurting the people of the nation, the people who cannot speak out. We are hurting our business places, as in the business places is the same nonsense. People come to work and they come with their private profile to run a public office. We have what you call the modus operandi, which is how things are supposed to work. St. Lucians, educate yourself. If it means that you have to love yourself more, you have to do some more reading, you have to come out of the box, educate yourself more as to what you are supposed to take, you are supposed to accept as a nation. Remember, these are our funds. We have to account for them. Even if when Richard Frederick was placed into power, and when he had his talk show and he's running all of those expletives, all of those dispositions that he took as a politician, you voted for him. And today, when it has exploded into something else, we are questioning it. But you see, it's part and parcel of who he is. And in the first place, why would you elect somebody like that to represent a nation? Because they've already showed you who they are. Now that is why we need to have a script for our political figures. If they're just political figures, the most important person has to be the person working behind them. These politicians have to be on the ground, walking in the community, befriending people, talking to people. When it comes to making sound decisions with money, sound decisions with projects and what happened, we need a group of people who sit at a table and who said, no, minister, that cannot happen. Yes, minister, that can happen. Okay, I can go ahead. That is what we need. We cannot have those people who clearly don't have a vision make these sound decisions for our country. And the Prime Minister, with all due respect, I know that, the question yesterday took you off guard and you gave your person. But as a Prime Minister, you must always have your script and your prime ministerial coat on. And yesterday he did not have it on. And today the press release is coming from the office and trying to sugarcoat what happened yesterday. And it's a clear negligence. It's negligence to the finish. And that is why St. Lucians, pay attention. I'm asking you, Tim, your program is very instrumental, very important. And that is why as a journalist, Tim, I'm not lecturing you, but as a journalist, I really like the position that you take. And I just want you to continue just resonating that neutral perspective, because that is where we need our solutions to come up and to make a difference. And voices have to be heard so we can call out when we see things that are not representing what we're supposed to have as a nation. So solutions, please wake up. Thank you, Tim.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for that cerebral contribution. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. For 3 days only, Peter & Company Auto is bringing you an unbelievable Nissan Qashqai flash sale. From Wednesday to Friday, today is the last day by the way, this is your chance to own the SUV that's turning heads everywhere. With its bold design, luxurious comfort, intelligent technology, exceptional fuel efficiency, and advanced safety features, the Nissan Qashqai is built to impress. Hurry! This incredible sale won't last. Go down to Peter & Company Auto. 3 days, incredible savings. Own a Nissan Qashqai. You deserve it. Once again, that sale ends today at Peter & Company Auto. Still to come, you'll be hearing from a regional prime minister because the European Union has formally made a request of St. Lucia and a number of territories in the Caribbean with CIP, Citizenship by Investment Program. Stay with the broadcast.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Ouais, monsieur, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow, hein. Si t'es la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Run pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est Major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten mois actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pump glo Léo under pour les nerfs, joinge et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452-0763.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurances accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
Turn up the vibes with Flow! Flow is turning up the vibes with 400 rewards this carnival season. Sign up for postpaid, add it to your internet, and turn up your rewards. From free grocery vouchers and big handset discounts to free event tickets and costumes with the baddest bands. Flow customers are turning up 400 times. Sign up in store or visit discoverflow.co to claim your reward. Terms and conditions apply.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
An supposé, ça c'est dernier kwas de l'eau. En temps cette lisi, tant ka wem ka vini pli long ek pli wed, ek sous de l'eau nou ka cheche. Ek la plia ka tobe pli fort ek pli te wib, ça ka dommage kay nou ek système glo nou. Mais nous sa changer ça. Nous sa conserver de l'eau ek protéger sous de l'eau nou. Chaque ti démarche nous point ça wede. Wasko ka travaille ensemble et puis agent pour manager sous l'eau et ka permettre pour assurer de l'eau en temps qui ka venir. Mais nous besoin si pour. Ensemble, nous sa protéger de l'eau nous, santé nous et ka assurer de l'eau pour l'autre génération. Un petit pas ça mène gros changement. Nous protéger de l'eau nous et la vie nous pour temps qui ka venir. Pour plus d'informations, visitez wascosandlucia.com.
It's Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan as they present your favorite country and western singer, Heather Miles. The date, July 11th, 2026. The venue, Villas of Disco, Saltibus. It all starts from 8 p.m. Admission is only $20. Music by DJ Stormy alongside DJ Tallboy. Food and drinks will be on sale. Elmer's 70th birthday bash continues with a beach bash Sunday, July 12th. Rudy John Beach, Ladbury from 1 p.m. Music by DJ Stormy with DJ Pimples. So don't forget, July 11th, Villas of Disco, and July 12th, Rudy John Beach with Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan. It's gonna be a vibe.
Epic Events and Events St. Lucia presents St. Lucia Mercury Fest Weekend, August 14th to 16th. A unique crossover event linking the English and French Caribbean. Saturday, Mercury Fest at Pigeon Island Beach featuring Meryl, Fanny J, DJ MJ, and top regional DJs. Sunday, the Boca Run along St. Lucia's spectacular West Coast for a chance to win €5,000. Tickets available at fourcirclestickets.com, bzook.com, The Cell, and 6 Car Rental in the Rodney Bay Marina. Follow us on social media. St. Lucia Mercury Fest Weekend, supported by St. Lucia Tourism Authority.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. It's on Power 97.9 FM, also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. As always, please like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin YouTube channel grow. The European Union has formally asked 5 Eastern Caribbean countries, that includes St. Lucia, to phase out their citizenship by investment program by June the 1st of 2028. And the EU argues that these programs pose security risks and warns that countries failing to comply could lose visa-free travel access to Europe. The Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, has been addressing this issue. As a matter of fact, while addressing an engagement in Dominica of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, he made reference to the request that has been made by the European Union, and that statement was made yesterday.
We have strengthened the governance of the citizenship by investment programs within the region with the establishment of the Eastern Caribbean Citizenship by Investment Regulatory Authority, ensuring higher standards of transparency, accountability, and international credibility. Despite the program's enhancements, we are now faced with the recent news of OECS CIP countries' EU visa-free suspensions under the visa suspension mechanism of the European Union, which was adopted by the EU on December 31st, 2025. Now, under this new framework, the mere operation of a CBI program, regardless of how well it is managed, is now a self-standing ground for suspension of visa-free access. So those involved in the political space who may want to cast aspersions on leaders within the region must understand that, again, it is actually a self-standing ground for suspension and not because of any, let's say, personal misconduct of any prime minister or of any country within the region. Now, in a letter dated the 25th of June 2026, signed by Commissioner Magnus Brunner and addressed to the regional prime ministers, the European Commission formally requested that our respective countries phase out CBI programs by June 1st, 2028. The Commission's letter offers a 24-month transition period and proposes the implementation of specific interim measures. The CBI programs, as you all are fully aware, are critical pillars of the OECS CIP countries' non-tax base. And they cannot simply be abandoned without viable, concrete, and credible replacement revenues being made available. OECS heads will be meeting tomorrow to discuss a joint response to the European Union, reiterating the irreparable harm this policy decision would cause the economies of the OECS and the welfare of its citizens. In this connection, our governments collectively will continue to engage the European Commission in a principled and constructive dialogue consistent with the spirit of our long-standing partnership.
Speaking yesterday in Dominica, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. Gaston Brown, it is at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Monetary Council that he spoke, and he handed over the chairmanship of the council to the Finance Minister of Dominica. Once again, you just heard there from Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown. What would those islands do without the Citizenship by Investment Program? Antigua, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as St. Lucia. Because the CIP is a cash cow for those governments. And they could utilize those resources to buy votes, to win elections. So God forbid, if they lose the CIP come 2028, that would certainly put ruling politicians, governments at a disadvantage, but to a less extent, it will affect the citizens of those countries who benefit from various initiatives that are being financed by the CIP. Roads, construction of schools, and houses in the case of Dominica in particular, and St. Kitts. But I think foremost, those politicians are fearful that they will not have sufficient funds at their disposal to win votes, to win general elections, and literally to buy votes. Turn my attention to you, Jante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, "For this week alone, the PM has really pissed me off. And this response to the EU visa restriction, we will survive. Who will survive? He and his ministers? Are you concerned but never called or visited? What kind of concern is this?" Another YouTube comment here reading, "Pierre did nothing, period. Not to the State Department, not to the family, nothing. He did no work, and now that he was asked, he got embarrassed and plays wrong and strong." SLP supporters claim that the 7-star general is the best PM in St. Lucia's history. And I believe we need more media personnel to put pressure on these governments, like those in power just relaxing when we can barely survive in this country. Over on Facebook, our first comment reads, "He thought being chairman of CARICOM was just about a man sitting on a chair." As a born St. Lucian and a citizen of CARICOM, I think PJP, the newly appointed chairman, owes us an apology for his racial tone at the CARICOM press conference. We deserve better. Someone needs to explain why the journalist's microphone was cut off. That says a lot about us, and it's not in a good way. Turn off his mic. Talk about freedom of press. We have another comment here saying, St. Lucia, best PM and the opposite. So now they're lying even more, shaking my head. When Elon Musk is ready to get some volunteers to go to Mars, put me first on that list. So wait a minute, the government and PJP are the perfect? They don't make mistakes? Is there no room for improvement? What kind of nonsense is this, hacks? A few commentary reading St. Lucia's habit. Once you're not on the same lying page as them, you are an enemy. Bunch of hypocrites, don't worry. What makes PJP sure that he is more concerned about, quote, my people, than the journalist is facts that he resides on the same country as them and that he is the same race as them? APPJP Pokodi Anye. PJP didn't receive the letter, or was it one letter for all of the OACS? Oh boy, thanks for telling us that you didn't get in touch with the dead to tell you that he was dead, so you should contact the alive family. Some NewsSpinners here reading, but there's no need to say anything because that's my people. And then they post on Facebook in a government statement with a nice blue background about how this matter of the missing fisherman was handled. And then, boom, the fisherman's partner calls Tim. Your people, and you never went to see them, and the reporter spent time with them and even knows the name of the children. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, excuse me, these people are my people, our people, but absolutely nothing has been done or contacted. Where is Lisa when you need her as well? As the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Climate Change, this falls under her ministry. Why haven't you reached out to those families? I'm so happy he needs to be put on the spot like this more often. We have another comment here saying, look for the wreckage. Didn't the wreckage get washed up on the beach somewhere? I remember seeing a video of that on Facebook. Basically, PJP is saying, mind your business. This is my people, not yours. He said he has done more than reaching out to them. Another comment here saying, Tim, justice should appear to be fair. If this is a case of extrajudicial killing, the family should be compensated. He's more concerned about information rather than saying that he did what he actually did for them. Yes, Tim, keep playing that tape. We have another comment here saying, first time PJP got a journalist that he couldn't answer the question. PJP doesn't even reach out to his constituents. You believe it's the people down south he would reach out to? My girl, you need to do like Teresa. And our final comment, I strongly believe enough has been done by the SLP administration, and I think there's need for a fresh election. Those people who were elected, they are not ready to work. They are not serious, and we need to give another set of people who are ready to take on the challenge of this country seriously.
Thank you so much, Janti, for that update. Looking forward to a final one from you on this, the most monitored talk show in the world, 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, WhatsApp message. And it reads, for real, why does he not information from the U.S. when the people are your people and you are people and you are concerned and the attacks happened in your waters? That makes absolutely no sense. Let's see there. Another person says there, good afternoon. We the people are living in a time of greater sins and corruption. No partiality or impartial or justice can undo the judgment of this time. Okay, somebody says there, did anyone notice the smile on the reporter's face when he saw the Prime Minister was searching for answers? Seems like the foreign journalist is more concerned about the Prime Minister's people because he literally paid the grieving family a visit as opposed to the St. Lucian Prime Minister. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message, and it says only so much St. Lucian leaders can do. At the end of the day, we depend on the same so-called white man for income in several ways, including going overseas for income, even depending on the same Americans for our eggs, chicken and lots more. My stand will remain and will never be supported by any of the political parties. If the country is in debt after 2 consecutive terms of any party, then no pension. Do we have a call on the landline? No, we don't, but continue to call the broadcast 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let's see if we could go through another WhatsApp message. Tim St. Lucians have put themselves in a position where pretty soon they will shed tears because now they don't defend the truth anymore, but to accept the lies from those in government. Another WhatsApp message. It says there, in addition to the non-visit of the ministers of government in office, the district rep has not visited the family of the fisherman who to date has not been seen and is alleged to have been bombed during a fishing expedition by the U.S. military. That's according to a WhatsApp message. See if we have another one. Last call, well said. Well said. I hope everyone has this. Wow. I think it's referring there to our female caller who contributed to the broadcast earlier on. Some more of your WhatsApp messages, and it says there, bravo young lady, it takes courage to expose the lies of the Prime Minister. Busted Lucians, watch your bread. Person says that him I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than to support the nonsense that is happening in St. Lucia. Still to come, you'll be hearing another contribution by Lucilia Charles, who is the mother of Ricky Joseph's children. We'll be back in just a bit with more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and of course, one more update by Shanti.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurances accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
We ready for the road. We ready for the road. We First National. Your next move bold. We ready for the road. We ready for the road. We First National. Your next move bold. Get ready for your next ride with the drive ahead from First National Bank. Enjoy up to 100% financing and rock bottom interest rates on new vehicle loans. Because we're not only here for you, we're driving ahead. We're ready for the road. We First National Bank. Your next move bold. Visit one of our partner dealerships, any First National Bank branch, or firstnationalbankonline.com today. Promotion runs through November 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone Salah. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui poué ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outil ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des war côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça, c'était en commission Hord Lucille.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Stop paying full price. With Flow, you can slash your bill in half. You heard right. Cut your mobile bill in half when you add mobile to internet. That's the most reliable Wi-Fi at home. Plus, all the data you need on the go. So don't wait. Double your connection and double your value for half the price. Add mobile to internet today. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Ouais, monsieur. Pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow. Hein? Si t'es la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, me money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pomme yo c'est Léo. Pomme ça c'est major. I bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moi actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pomme glo Léo under pour les nerfs, joints et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
It's Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan as they present your favorite country and western singer, Heather Miles. The date, July 11th, 2026. The venue, Villas of Disco, Saltibus. It all starts from 8 p.m. Admission is only $20. Music by DJ Stormy alongside DJ Tallboy. Food and drinks will be on sale. Elmer's 70th birthday bash continues with a beach bash Sunday, July 12th. Rudy John Beach, Ladbury. From 1 p.m. Music by DJ Stormy with DJ Pimples. So don't forget, July 11th, Philosoph Disco. And July 12th, Rudy John Beach with Elmer's 70th birthday bash alongside Mr. Jordan. It's gonna be a vibe.
Epic Events and Events St. Lucia presents St. Lucia Mercury Fest Weekend, August 14th to 16th. A unique crossover event linking the English and French Caribbean. Saturday, Mercury Fest at Pigeon Island Beach featuring Meryl, Fanny J, DJ MJ, and top regional DJs. Sunday, the Boca Run along St. Lucia's spectacular West Coast for a chance to win €5,000. Tickets available at 4circlestickets.com, Bezook.com, The Cell, and 6 Car Rental in the Rodney Bay Marina. Follow us on social media. St. Lucia Mercury Fest Weekend, supported by St. Lucia Tourism Authority.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. I was doing some reading yesterday, and a particular word piqued my interest. Let's spell this word. Phillipic. Following Jante. Phillipic. That word is Philippic. And what does the word mean? A bitter attack or denunciation, especially a verbal one. Look it up, Jante. Phillipic. Philippic. A bitter attack or denunciation, especially a verbal one. Similar words are tirade, diatribe, invective, denunciation, rant, polemic. So that's what I'm leaving with you folks for the weekend Philippic. Let us hear now from Lucilia Charles. She has a lamentation. She has a concern.
So I was saying, look, school closed there. I need books for my children. School closed. Stuff for my children. I need some help for them. So I was saying, look, school closed there. I need books for my children. School closed. Stuff for my children. I need some help for them.
Lucilia Charles making a plea there to the authorities. St. Lucia Social Development Fund comes to mind. She needs some help for her children, her 4 children, to purchase books, shoes, uniform to send them to school. Will you help? Will you provide a check to this lady, SSDF? 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We are awaiting your final call. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, I feel so bad for St. Lucians who are still on the island. No help, no money, no jobs, no water, no future, no life, and now no government. Their backs are against the wall and they don't know what to do anymore. But I promise you, for every dark night, there's always a brighter day. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Somebody says that, Tim, that line of questioning reminds me of Rick Wayne. His demeanor reminds me of when Rick is posing his questions. And that's according to a WhatsApp message. Another message, and it reads today, remember one particular individual used to criticize Alan Shastney on his show, saying that he cannot talk nor can pronounce his name. He asked Mr. Shast to step down and give way to this present Prime Minister, who is the best man to run the country. He said Mr. Shast is ignorant and doesn't know a thing about St. Lucia. Now, Mr. So-and-so, I want you to come back on your show and tell us who is really ignorant and cannot talk. You should be ashamed of yourself more than the Prime Minister himself. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says there, Tim, SSDF is now the St. Lucia Sex Development Fund. So, does she qualify for sex? LOL. Just a joke. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another message. Tim, the Prime Minister did say these are his people and he knows their pain. Of course, if you're not a Labour supporter, he cannot know your pain because the only pain that he knows is Labour pain, according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says, hi, good afternoon. Do you or your NewsSpinners notice our foreign minister at the reporter's back or Mia Motley at the table? This is just crazy. Shaking my head. We'll turn our attention now to Jante with a final update from you regarding comments extracted from the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment read, people, the ministers don't care about what y'all are saying. They're drawing the big salaries on St. Lucian's head. What profit St. Lucia has in CIP? The where they're using the CIP monies. Another YouTube comment is saying, how did the OECS countries survive before CIP programs were implemented? For the poor people who put in the politicians in power and not holding them accountable, remember, who can afford to run will run, but what about those who can't? They will have to stay. Over on Facebook, our first comment reads, what were those local governments doing to build and maintain the country before CIP? When you have a lazy government, this is the route you expect them to take. In the days of Sir John, things were more difficult to accomplish, and his hard work and that of the citizens of his country actually paid off because there were signs all over the country. Tim, when will Richard be out of government of St. Lucia? Someone needs to send the response from the child's mother to Al Jazeera. We have another comment here saying, Tim, do you know who are the countries that terminated our banana industry? They're coming back again. PJP never imagined these questions were coming. He tried to answer, but poor job. The journalist even ate roast breadfruit with the family. A few comments here reading, PJP spoke just the right way. That's what Lucians voted for. The man is such an embarrassment. I see why the snakes are coming to bite us. Nupaka turn and they are tired of us. They gave PJP to be chairman because he's the most pamele. Some news spinners are saying, I hope they don't bribe the lady to make her apologize. Every day has a distraction for yesterday's distraction. I have a feeling the journalist will help this family personally. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, when will St. Jude's open? The hypocrisy is clear. Since 8 months, the PM had a ribbon cutting ceremony. This was an election gimmick. The journalist asked PJP, do you know their names? Because I know. PJP replied, these are my people. Laughing out loud. Tim, you're not good. We have another comment saying, Tim, another SLB statement is being typed for you right now. I wonder what will be on the government's calendar of events for the next week. I don't know why the hawks are listening to PJP. Another comment here reading, we are in a philippic situation in this country. And our final comment, the children are the future. They are watching.
Thank you so much for that final update, Jante. Finally from us, we have our NewsSpin News of the Day. The NewsSpin News of the Day reads, developing countries spend more repaying foreign debt than on education, UN reveals. Developing countries spend more repaying foreign debt than on education, UN reveals. As a broadcast, thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget, please, to like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin YouTube channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Enjoy your weekend. God willing, we'll be back on Monday. Goodbye.